You wanna go on a walk? Hello and welcome to Andy walks his dog and talks about fighting games. So the long short of it is they fucked up and gave me a job, so I have income, which means that I'm buying lots of like tech toys. So I have an action camera with a microphone. Basically, this is the continuation of an idea that I had last year when I was going to UMAD with Cole, and I was gonna bring a camera, but the mirrorless camera that I have ended up being too big to pack, and so it never happened because it would have caused me to end up paying for another checked bag, and I didn't want to do that because I was trying to save money because I was unemployed last year. So this time I have an action camera and a microphone that are small enough to just throw into a carry-on, and that should be more than enough here. But I have to make sure that I go through all the testing now instead of while I'm at it's Roundhouse this time, by the way. Cole managed to talk me into going to Roundhouse with another local, so that's what we're doing. And so here I am, walking the monster, which right now he is pulling everywhere because my parents are they're in Australia right now. My mom is running the Sydney Marathon. One of the things that I was thinking about was my local Discord was talking about like how they got into fighting games and sort of the general sentiment about new fighting, or every new fighting game. I was mentioning in the Discord that every new generation usually has a bunch of people who call that new generation like a baby game or too easy. And I told them that I don't really have that feeling about this current generation of fighting games. I don't think that the games have been conceptually dumbed down, but I do feel like they're more on rails than they ever have been. And that's really my only complaint with modern fighting games right now. I was thinking about it in context of, like, when people think of Call of Duty, they think of every Call of Duty game lowering and lowering the skill gap, or rather flattening it. So there are a lot of things, kill streaks and things in the game that specifically reward bad players with free kills, thus lowering the skill gap because it means that good players get punished for being good, and bad players get the satisfaction of killing the good players. I don't think that fighting games have that right now. Instead, the curve that they've flattened is they've flattened the level of variety that can happen inside of a game. So the example that I gave was Street Fighter 4 to Street Fighter 6, and how even within the game of Street Fighter 4, there was a degree of variation in terms of how you could play that game. Not only like with the same character, but also in terms of character variety, like the way that they interacted with the systems were very different. And that was an intentional design choice to make characters like Viper and El Fuerte, etc., etc. When you compare a character like Viper in Street Fighter 4 to Viper in Street Fighter 6, Street Fighter 6 Viper is essentially the same character as everybody else in Street Fighter 6, with just a slightly different fireball that is in many ways objectively worse than having just a regular fireball. But also, she plays mid-screen like every other Street Fighter character, walking, blocking, whiff punishing, but just with an extra added step of having to jump cancel non-special special cancelable normals. So instead of drive rushing, she is super jump canceling, and it results in the exact same gameplay as if she was just a regular drive rush Street Fighter character. The reason why they do that is they do that so then they can flatten the balance curve and make it easier to keep the game in a relative state of balance. Because one of the struggles throughout Street Fighter 4's lifetime was definitely keeping characters in check, because there were characters that broke so many rules that if you buffed any one piece of a kit too much, then you get a situation where like Akuma is top 1, or Seth is top 1, or Yoon's lunge punch and dive kick like subvert too many core systems. I think that is something that has kind of really plagued every game in this generation. Strive did that by standardizing character tools, so then like every character has a plus on block, close, medium for the most part. I think there were some exceptions, but I'm pretty sure that they've shored a lot of those exceptions up. It's been a while since I paid attention to that game. Many of all the Gatlians have been standardized. The way characters use Roman cancels have been standardized. Same thing has happened with Tekken. Many characters that had like specific weaknesses and really specific hyper strengths to balance out the fact that they had a big weakness have become generally well-rounded characters, which has caused a lot of turmoil in that game, because when you have characters that are supposed to be really weak in one area and really strong in another area, and you make them well-rounded, they become the best characters in the game. I hope that we can get back to being okay with making a cast really diverse and interact with system mechanics in a unique way. Because to me, that makes a more interesting game. There are some games that did that prior to the Street Fighter 4 generation, but my favorite generation in terms of balance between accessibility and unique gameplay around a core system definitely happened in the Street Fighter 4 era. So that'd be like 2009 to like 2015 when Exerd came out, because Exerd really marked the last game that had the Street Fighter 4 philosophy, where it was like a blending of old and new, and also not lacking the courage to put a character like El Fuerte in the game, or Hakan. These characters that don't operate by the same rules as everybody else. The other thing that was really interesting about Street Fighter 4 is that they intentionally and really frequently put characters in that lacked a core mechanic that you needed to be a good character. For example, crouch teching in Street Fighter 4. If you had a 3-frame crouch tech, you were a good character. If you were a 4-frame crouch checker, then that meant that characters like Dudley or Ryu doing like solar plexus on you, it meant that you were an easier to counter hit character, because you had to be more deliberate with your crouch tech timing. The trend in modern games recently has been to cover up all those holes, so every character has standardized defensive options, which creates a more balanced game, yes. It also makes the game a little bit flatter in terms of varied matchup interactions or otherwise. I don't know if I'm allowed to go through here, but there's a little path that's been kind of carved out, so let's take a look here. Now, don't eat. I swear to God, we as Labrador Retriever owners are keeping our dogs alive in spite of themselves. Like, who knows if Otis had just eaten poison ivy there. He just decided, you know what, I'm eating this, whatever it is. It's going in my mouth. He is real excited to move forward here, so. Okay, Otis. I don't think there's anything over here. Oh, no. Otis knows better than I do. I don't remember this being like carved out in the way that. Otis, I don't think I can fit through there. No, I can't fit. Get back here. I can't fit through there. Okay. I don't remember there being like an area that people had worn out by walking. But it has been baseball season, so my guess is that there have been a lot of little kids who played in the brush during games. Let's see if the dog run here is empty. My mom doesn't like Otis going into the dog run just because apparently dog trainers and the like, they say that dogs will get sick. Otis hasn't really gotten. I mean, he got sick when he was a puppy going to this dog run, but he's 6 years old now. If nobody's there, then I'll just let him run around. Not for too long though, because it's like 80. It was 85 when I left, I think, and it will only get warmer because there's no clouds in the sky at all. Because right now I think it's like 2:30, which means it'll get hotter moving into like 4 o'clock. Okay, so it looks like the dog run is empty, so I'm gonna let Otis in here for a little bit. Gotta remember how this thing works. All right, there we go. All right, come on, Otis. Oh, it looks like someone bent it. My guess is that somebody didn't know how it worked either. All right, go ahead. If I remember correctly, they donated part of this land for this dog run. It's a real simple dog run. It's not fancy or anything. Like you'll see that it's literally just like an open space. And during the winter, it gets really muddy because there's sort of like a dusty spot like right in the middle of this thing. Oh, it looks like they finally were able to fill it up with grass. Yeah, because right in this area here, there used to be sort of like a divot where I don't know what happened, but it started out as like a little like dirt area, but because it was in low ground, it would collect water, and then dogs would like hang out in it and get all muddy. And then it just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and so then it ended up being like just this big dirt pit. And it looks like they finally were able to grow grass over it. So, how you doing, Otis? All right, bye, Otis. I don't think any modern fighting game is objectively bad right now, and that's a good thing because it means that every fighting game is a safe recommendation, generally speaking. They're a good entry point into the genre, but that said, my two favorite fighting games are still Street Fighter 4 and Guilty Gear Xrd. At locals, those are the two games that I usually play. I don't often play Street Fighter 6 anymore. Not because I don't like the game, but because that game's gameplay is very solved in terms of like what you can do with the game, and the rest of it is engaging with the mental. Engaging with the mental is important, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, the games that are more complex are more fun, I think. I think it is cool to pick Seth on the character select screen and hit someone with an SPD, and now they have to eat a 5-way mix-up. I did want to go back to what I was saying about Roundhouse, though. One of my pet peeves about a lot of fighting game content, just in general, when it surrounding tournaments, a lot of that content revolves around being at the tournament and maybe showing some B-roll, but pretty minimally speaking to the camera or sharing interactions with other players. And that always bugs me, because I feel like half the reason why you would want to go to a fighting game event is the people and the interactions. And the fact that those interactions don't get shared that frequently. When you look up fighting game vlog, most of the time those interactions are kind of, whether intentionally or not, left out. And if one of your goals as someone who decided one day to vlog a fighting game event is to show people how cool fighting game events are, then you're doing a disservice by not providing the POV as someone who's just hanging out and giving a more detailed look at what people do at fighting game events. As someone who just wants to be validated when it comes to how cool these events are, I know what it's like to prepare for the tournament, warm up, go 0-2 or 2-2 in pools, and then be like, oh, well, time to drink. But see, that's the thing, is that after you share that, I want to see the after part. That's the part that I want to see, is the hang afterwards, the discussions, the random side quests, especially with like prominent members, because I think that sharing some of the quirkiness of like looking for food and then running into Laban, who I feel like every scene knows who Laban is. Running into Laban and then having him take you on a side quest to a Cantonese place in an upstairs living room of a building in the middle of Chinatown in Montreal. That's the kind of shit that is really cool. And I'm hoping that I can bring that to the table. All right, well, we are back. Otis is walking pretty significantly far behind me. It's too hot for a black lab right now. We weren't out that long, thankfully. Come on in, Otis. There you go. Okay, well, that was it. I'm hot, Otis is hot. I'm gonna sit down for a while.